This
The
conference
same
will
Docker
now be
class.
recorded.
Second class, this is for the third class of the Docker. And the last 2 days class, we have just discussed the basic introduction of Docker, installation of the Docker, and one second. Installation of Docker. Let me share my screen. Okay, so installation of Docker and the various type of installation, vagrant installation. You can do VDI installation and install Docker, created a container, multiple container, how to deploy, how to access the container within the cluster, can be access container from outside. So how to manage the container, how to kill the container, how to restart pod, how to check the container utilization. And the yesterday we have discussed like how to create customized Docker images based on the customer requirement, right? And you can also create Docker compose, which using the Docker compose at a time you can manage multiple service, can be bring up multiple service, can be bring down multiple service, can be also bring down a specific service. And you can also you can making a scale up your application based on the customer requirement. Things are going fine as of now, but what will happens if I have one the node and I have deployed the hundreds of thousands of container I have deployed, and this is the frequently I have created, I deleted a lot of things I'm doing. But if my container goes down, or if I want to communicate one container to another node of the container, so those things by default not available in the Docker. So Docker fundamental Docker, which will give you guys whatever container you created on your node, that can be accessible within the node only. If I have another worker node, if I want to deploy one more node, so whatever container if I created node 2, node 1 container cannot access to node 2 container. Or if my container goes down, then who is bring up my container automatically, replica not happening automatically. So those things, there are a lot of disadvantages will be there if you are going to use only the Docker platform without orchestration. So that is what in the market multiple orchestrations are available, which you can say Docker Swarm or Kubernetes has their own product, right? If you go for Amazon, they have also they created on customized Kubernetes. Azure also providing Kubernetes service. There are multiple services will be there. So that is where Kubernetes will come to the picture once you guys are familiar with the Docker. So if I okay, so that is what we discussed yesterday. So today we will, as I told you yesterday, today we will discuss little more about Docker. And once finish that particular chapter, then we will try to move the Kubernetes part. So before we move to Kubernetes, first you need to understand what is the Kubernetes, why should I go to Kubernetes? If I go to the Kubernetes product, what kind of benefit I will get? Yes or no? So who is going to monitoring? A lot of benefit will be there. So we will go through that Kubernetes architecture installation. So many things will be there. So slowly, guys, from tomorrow onwards, we will just directly moving to our the Kubernetes product, right? So this week, I think tomorrow is a Friday. So might be tomorrow we can finish our installation part, Kubernetes installation part, so that from Monday onwards, we are good to go with very basic of the Kubernetes launch application, accessing application. So many things will be there. We'll slowly move to our Kubernetes product. Okay. So today we will discuss. We will today we will talk
Excuse me,
about
sir.
little.
Hey, sir. One
Yes.
point. No, actually, just so for related to yesterday's class, right? So if we had the class commands as well as with respect to the Docker Compose or the you have customized the images and all, right? I think yesterday we didn't get. I think I couldn't get those actually. So because if you share, right, that will be useful for the if I want to practice, right, I can execute those and see how it
Uh,
goes.
yeah, sure, definitely. I forgot to
Mm.
send the command yesterday, so we are just
Okay.
preparing all the step by step. The Ali is guys who is preparing the step by step whatever things we have discussed the last 2 days, and hopefully
Okay.
meanwhile we have already said last 2 days recording as well, so you
Yes,
can
yes,
watch
that
those
is there,
recording.
but
Yeah,
this will be
definitely,
it makes it
definitely
easy.
those, yeah, those commands we are just preparing, so we are yet to
Okay.
complete. So once we finalize those things, so we will create one PDF file and give it
Okay.
today.
Yeah.
Today after
Thanks,
the
sir.
class, you will get that. Don't worry.
Sure. Thanks.
Okay, no problem. Um, that's fine. So what is IP address of this machine which I have connected?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
I just wanted to know now, you're just running the VM, right? This is not Vagrant, right? What you're running?
No, this is a VM only I'm using.
Okay,
Vagrant
okay, because
machine. This is a Vagrant machine.
okay, because what I did on my laptop is VirtualBox and VM, and I'm comfortable with that, so it's fine, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the
yeah,
same
that's
thing.
fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You can follow anything. Doesn't matter.
Okay,
Okay. So I have
all
show
right,
you the
all right.
different way. If those do not have any capacity, nothing is will there more, they can go for Vagrant. So Vagrant will take only 200, 300 MB. So you can follow. But I'm just doing. I'm not doing Vagrant. I'm just doing with Docker, which we have created manually. Manual VM inside the VM we have created, right? That one I'm using.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's we will start today. So today's we will talk about yesterday we discussed this customized Docker file, and along with we also discussed Docker Compose, which is very good things Docker Compose, and Docker Compose Docker Compose, Docker file, those are all by default pre-built in the Kubernetes, guys. In Kubernetes product, you can bring multiple container, multiple at a time. You can scale up your application. You can make a replica. A lot of benefit you will get on the Kubernetes. So now you comfortable the Docker. Slowly when we move to Kubernetes, it will very easy and to operate a Kubernetes cluster and day-to-day operation of the commands. So first, let me first connect to my VM. I'll just connect to the VM, which is called 92.168.1.1.50, I think so. What is the IP address? Okay, so let me whenever you configure, you should use those IP address while you connect to your machine. So let me try. So now I can able to access because I want the different router. So that network has a different IP address, but in my machine I have configured one dot series. I just move to different router. Okay. So please remember, guys, because whatever commands I am execute after end the class, please remember someone to save this output of the desktop. Yesterday I forgot to do that one. So the console output I can give you whatever commands I'm typing. I can share all the commands to you. Anyhow, I have already documented, but please reminder me. Okay, so let me talk about today's class. So our today agenda will be yesterday somebody asked question, can we configure own Docker registry, right? We can also configure our own registry. So the Docker registry. So if I configure Docker registry, so instead of pulling images from Docker Hub account, you can also pull those images from local registry. So you can configure one local registry so that you can keep all the images of local registry, so that whenever I deploy the application, I will use I can use pull images from my local registry instead of Docker hub account. So if you want to implement the local registry in the Docker, which will be very easy, so there will be one images which is already available. So by default, one image will be available. So if you want to configure a Docker private registry, you just need to be pull one image, which image, that name is called Docker pull. The image name will be registry version 2. So this is one registry. If you just pull that images, I just pull that image. So first it will check whether this image is available local. So if it is not there locally, so it will try to pulling images from Docker hub account. So this is what registry, guys. We can if you bring up this application, this is one container, right? This is one image. If you want to bring up this application, right, automatically your machine act as one of the registry, so that once you can keep all the local images, you can keep all the images, so that using those images you can pull those images from your local registry. So very simple. So the local registry, you can say repository, where we can store all images, so that the customer can pull images from our local registry repo. You can say Artifactory, right? You can, so you have to pay for the Artifactory. If you go to DTR, this is called repository enterprise will be there. So you have to pay. If you're keeping images 2 GB, then monthly you need to pay. So that will be, every company will has an enterprise repository they will go, so that if you keep images from Artifactory, those things, so that they can scan your images, and if any error will be there, if you any security related, they will directly interact with customer. That is fair enough. So we are just trying to configure one local repository. So how do I configure the local repository, which is very easy. So by default registry will listen, the port number will be 5000, the port number will be 5000. So how do I bring up this container? How to create a registry container? To create a container in the Docker, you need to use a image. So already you have a experience with to bring up your container. I'll just use Docker run -d, run it back in backend, and I'll use -p. So enable the port number 5000 port number, which is a local port number, and 5000 this port number, which is for your container port number. Then I will give, what is your application name? My application name will be registry. So I'll give my application name will be registry. Okay. And what is the to create a container, you have to use the image name. So what is the image name? My image name will be, this is my image name, guys. So I'll just use my image name over here. This is my image name. So when you hit enter, your local registry is done. This is very simple to bring up to configure local registry. So now if you just run docker ps command, hit enter, now you can see there is one local registry which is configured.
Excuse me, your screen is in hang, right? I'm not seeing your updated screen. Is it? I don't
Oh,
know.
is it? That is
your screen
for
is high.
everyone, guys?
Yeah.
Skin is high?
Yes,
Just now,
yes.
yeah.
Yes,
Is it showing now?
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's showing.
Oh, is it? Okay.
No, same for me actually. I don't know. Still,
Sorry for
Yeah,
that.
it is even not
network.
showing for me as well.
It is showing the registry currently, right?
no,
I
but
have
it just
executed
said
command called docker
Now it is
ps.
okay.
Docker pull
Now is it
registry
okay?
and waiting. Is it actually the screen?
No, I have run docker run command.
No.
Docker PS is
You
the
run
latest
Docker
now.
PS, right?
Yeah, docker
Yeah,
ps is
Docker
like that,
PS.
means somebody is able to
Yeah,
see
it's now.
docker.
Yeah, now it's okay. Now it's okay. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So I'll go a little slow. I'm just going slow only, but if I go very slow, then people will say you're going very slow. That's fine. So first of all, if you want to configure local registry, first you can pull the images. So if you pull, if image is available in local machine, so next time if you deploy, and it will go very fast because it will not pull images again Docker hub. which is already
Yeah.
available in local
Excuse
machine.
me. This what is mean by this two colon 2 registry
Okay,
colon
okay.
2 is the
Registry is image name. Two is a tag, image version. Okay. So yesterday I told you, no, image will be start with image with tag, right? So if you're not giving anything, suppose if you just mention registry, right? So it will start with it will download pull images from registry from latest. So I want to give a version. I want to give version registry version called 2.
So is it the same like Docker Enterprise DTR, the Docker trusted registry, or is it separate,
No,
publicly available registry?
no. For that Docker, that is a different process to installation. That is a DTR will be different process. That is a graphical user interface installation will be there. This is for
This is
only for
a
open source private registry. You
private
can
repository, right?
configure. Yeah, this is for private repository. You can configure on your local machine. Okay, so how it will work in the industry way, you know? Suppose if I just go back to one, do not. So if I just guys, if I create it, for example, you have one worker node. You have one of the node will be there. That node will be your Docker node, which is a Docker is a configure. I can say Docker node. This is my Docker node. Now, when
Bro,
if
your
you
screen
want
is
to,
hang.
Again is freeze again.
Screen hang, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was hang again.
Again, it's hang.
screen
Yeah,
is
true.
hang.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
registry
sir.
colon 2, it has been
Okay,
hanged.
It's showing
let me
registry colon 2.
let me stop my share. I'll share again. Okay, just stop my share. Wait. See my screen, guys, now.
No,
One
sir.
Not
second.
yet.
Not yet.
It's wait, it's waiting. I just shared the screen right now.
Yeah, not at still. Okay.
It's loading now.
Still it is loading, right?
Yeah, 1 second. I should give a presenter. Sojana, can you make me presenter? Sajane, are you there?
Sir, this is Ali.
Ali,
I guess
Ali, can you make me
you are
presenter?
presenter, sir. You are presenter, sir.
But
are
when
already
I
presenter.
share my screen, it's showing waiting for people to see my screen. I'm getting this message only.
When I watch your account, beside your account said you are organizer and you are presenter also. Means you are organizer and presenter.
Okay, now I think it's loading. Now I guess I think people are able to see my screen.
Due to slow internet.
Sir, it's not in the screen right now. From the phone, if anyone connects, maybe, but from this screen, no. You are I cannot watch your screen actually. Oh,
are you able to see my screen?
Yes, now it's coming. Yes, now it's there. Now it's there right now.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Showing meeting screen, right?
Yeah, now
Yes,
meeting
meeting
screen.
screen. Go to meeting screen. Are you able to see that screen?
Yeah,
Yes.
but
Yes,
we
yeah,
are,
yeah.
we are not
Yes,
facing. We were,
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yes, we are getting your screen. Kindly proceed. No problem.
I have good internet. Okay. But which screen are you able to see? I have run one command called fast.com. I think you're not able to see that.
Maybe
No. We are not able.
we are able to
We
see
are only able to
global
see
meeting.
Go to meeting. Other than that, it is not.
Just go to meeting is running right now. Is showing
No. He is telling he is running some commands.
Watch. Just I'm
No,
watching.
not command. Let me share again. Okay. Now I think hopefully you can able to see all the screen.
We can able to see your text screen.
Yes.
the notepad only.
This is the questions number 18, 19, 20. This one is running and watching. Yeah. Yes. All of us we should watch this page right now.
One second. I have some problem.
Nityanand, this side, is there any screen sharing problem?
Yes, sir.
I think because I'm also
Actually, Saurabh is trying to troubleshoot. He's having some problem with his screen sharing.
simple problem. Okay, meantime, I request all the participant, going forward, please join with your name. Still, I'm seeing a few name as M and who else? So I would request sincerely, it's as per office policy, you join with your name, full name. Who is M in this meeting room? Can unmute it and speak. What is the name?
Yeah, hi Nitin, this is Manoj.
Manoj, can you write your name, please?
Yeah, thank you.
Please. I think rest all are fine as of now. Thank you, Manoj.
No problem.
Still it is loading, right?
Saurabh, are you there? I think he is there in the meeting room.
Still I can see loading screen, but then anything. Saurabh, are you there?
I think he just left the meeting.
Oh, okay.
Is it good now, guys?
Yeah, we
Sir,
can
we
still
are
able to
watching.
see your meeting.
Yes,
Okay,
go to
fine.
meeting.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
you're
now
How
it's
about
fine.
Yeah,
now? Are you can see my desktop?
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thanks. Okay, so okay, so what exactly I'm just trying to explain you. So right now you have one node. The node, I can say this is my Docker node, which Docker is already installed. And if you want to deploy any application, you have to first you need to pull the image from Docker hub.account. Okay, that is for public registry. That is a public registry. But as a industry, they will not go for public registry. As a industry, there will be no internet connection on worker node as a. There is no internet connection. If there is no internet connection, then how to pull images from Docker Hub? You cannot pull. That means you cannot deploy any application. So what you need to do in our organization, we are configuring one node. This is one worker node where proxy is enabled. So proxy is enabled. Through proxy, we can access to redhat.com website, and you can access to our Docker hub.account, Docker Hub. This node is internet will be available. So what I need to do, I will configure registry. I will configure local registry over in this machine. I'll just configure one registry over here. So I'll say this is my registry. This is my registry, and which the port number will be 5000. The 5000, the default port number of registry is called 5000. So what I'll do, guys, first initially what I'll do, I will pull images from Docker Hub and store on this machine, and that image I will again try to push that image to my local repository. So the all the worker node, I will ask to all the whatever nodes are available in my cluster, instead of you pull images from Docker Hub, you just directly pull that images from, you just need to pull the images from our private registry. So registry is nothing but is a repository where you can store all Docker images. And if you keep any images in your local registry, so anyone can from within your network, they can pull that images from your registry, the local registry. So to configure local registry, if you want to implement the private, I can say private registry. Private means within my machine. I will configure one machine act as registry. So I will ask once my registry is done, then I will ask to pull images, to pull the images from the registry. So how to do that one, guys? So to implement registry on this node, then what you need to do? There will be one registry image is available directly. So that registry, the name is nothing but, so registry :2. :2. This registry is what is this? This registry, this is nothing but the name of image, This two is nothing but here, your image version. I can call tagging. I can say image tag.
Means we are downloading the image, right? First of all.
Yes, you're just
To
downloading one
create
image
registry.
to create a registry, to make a local registry. So I need to decide on which node I need to configure local registry. So I have a single machine. So what I'll do,
That image, we will get all the previous things under.
in that image you will get only repository. It will be enable registry. Then later on you need to store all the images into registry so that you can pull the images from there. I'll explain you, don't worry. Let me see. So I'll just log into the server now and go back here. So guys, give me 1 second. I'll get my charger. Okay, I'm back now. Now guys, if you want to configure registry, so I told you you should use the image name should be, so what is the image name? So you know that image name will be registry:2. So if I want to implement here registry through images, so what I'll do, very simple commands I need to run. I'll just run a command called here docker run the container in backend, enable the port number. By default the port number will be 5000 colon 5000, so that I can access from other machine. Then you have to give what is the container name you want to give. So I'll give my container name is nothing but registry only. And so what is the container image name? So I'll say my image name will be registry colon version of colon will be 2. So
Hi,
whenever
sir.
you, yes,
My screen was hanged. Are you typing any comments?
again screen is hanged.
I
No,
have to
I'm just saying sharing my screen only. This is paint screen
Yeah,
only. I'm
for me
just
it
not
is okay.
typing in anywhere.
For me
Okay.
it is okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just say I have not typed anything in my Docker machine. I just typing in the paint only. Hopefully you're able to see the screen. Okay. So guys, whenever you execute this command, so you just need to be run this command. So what exactly this command will do? This command will make sure it will just create one container, one registry container, and listen, the port number will be 5000. Once you run this one, then this machine act as a local registry. This machine act as a private registry. But by default, there is no images available. There is no images. So how to keep images under the registry? So first you have to do, I told you last time also, to share an image from one machine to another machine, first you have to do docker image tag, then docker image push, right? These are two commands you need to run. So let me implement my local registry first. So I just open my, I just share my screen right now. Hopefully you're able to see my black screen right now. So let me increase the font size. Let me increase control arrow key. Yeah, it's working fine. So what I'll do, guys, first of all, already I have run the command. So I have already run the command called docker ps command. Now you can see registry is up and running right now. Now registry pod is which is available locally. So if registry pod is up and running, then what is the job of registry? Store images. So first I will decide which image I want to store. So I'll just docker images. When I hit enter docker images, when I run the docker images command, in my machine I have a lot of images which is available. For example, I have images name is called Jenkins, Ubuntu, Redis, so many images which is available in my local machine. So can I copy these images to my local registry. So how to do, guys? It's very simple. You just run a command called docker images, docker image, first docker image tag. You have to give a tag, docker image tag. Which image you want to tag? So I want to copy, let me copy Ubuntu or CentOS images, CentOS image. This is just the image which is available my local machine space. So where you want to transfer these images to, on which location? I'll give a location. So where is my location? The location will be localhost colon 5000. This is called your registry URL. Even though yesterday also, whenever you logging to Docker Hub, dockerhub.com/5000 will be there. So same thing, the host, you can use IP address, host name, or you can use a local host. Localhost IP address, that IP address called 5000. So I told you 5000, the port number of registry. You just need to give a slash. And what is the image name you want to use it? So I'll say CentOS or my image. So I'll give my hyphen image hyphen CentOS. This is the name I'll give. So when you hit enter, so these images will be tagging to this name. Once you tag this name, so what I'll do, you just run a command called docker push the image name. This is the full image part you have to use. Just you have to use a docker push image name, hit enter. So when you hit enter, now look here, guys. Now you're able. Now you can see I'm just push my the local image which is available CentOS. I'm just transfer these images to my repository. Now next time onward, if I want to deploy to bring up my CentOS application, then I don't want to pull images from Docker Hub. I'll say docker run, then image path, which is stand for localhost colon 5000 slash image name. So I'll use this path to deploy the application. So this is called an intranet. So if there is no internet connection, so you can download one images, make available, and to store it. Now you can see the image which is available.
Can you hit Docker PS, or does it has any IP address ports?
Which one you're talking? This port you're talking?
Ports. Yeah. Ports. Yeah. I'm talking
So,
about ports.
yeah. So by default, the port will be the IP. The port number will be 5000, and the IP address will be a local IP. So that is a local, because we are configuring local registry. And you can also access this one, and you already know the IP of container port number you can use, right? So you can use the Docker inspect, and if you use the container ID, you can use this IP address. So instead of this, I can call here the IP address of 172.17 this, or IP address of the node IP. I can also call IP for 192.168.1.150, the IP address of the node. So that is what, when we bring up the which command we have used, we have written 5000. This is for your can be accessed my node IP with port number. This is for local IP address with the port number. That is what the container port number of your container and the port number of your host, that is 5000:5000. So you can use with the local IP, your node IP, or you can use a container IP. Any IP you can use. So same thing, guys. You just need to decide, and any other images I need to push. So I'll say, okay, I need to push put Ubuntu images. Then I'll say, guys.
Saurabh, can you go back to that screen where you are running? Show that command, that paint screen, docker run. Yeah, this hyphen name, then registry, and after that this registry :2.
This is image name. This is your image name. This is the image
okay,
name.
This can be anything we can give.
Yeah, name of, yeah. This name you can give anything. This is the application container name. You can give anything. Okay, let me type that command in screen over here, so that it will be good. So I'll just run docker run -d, make it in backend. -p is the port number. I'll say 5000:5000 local port number. Then what is the container name you want to give? Name equal to, I'll give container name also registry. And to create a container, you should give image name. So here image name also registry here, registry:2. Got the point?
Thank you.
Just clear all of you? This is the image name. So after you start, next command is what? To verify whether registry is running or not. Now you can say my receipt. This is what you're getting a registry. This is the name. Why is coming registry? Because I have mentioned name is also registry. If you not mention here, then randomly you will get some different name, which will dynamically Docker image will give one name. So if you want to give a specific name of your container, you have to give this name, right? And this registry:2, this image name. So you can see here image section, name of image called registry:2. I have used the port number 5000. Here you can see the 5000 port is a lesson right now. So once you bring off your registry port, now next, what is the next job? If you want to keep any images of local registry, so you need to first identify which image you want to store. Now customer will say, okay, I want to deploy Ubuntu server. Can you give me Ubuntu images? So first what I'll do, if image is not available in my local machine, first I need to download images from Docker Hub account, make available to local registry. So same thing what I'll do, guys. First I run docker tag. There is image docker image tag. There is Ubuntu image which is available in my local machine. This image, I want to copy these images to localhost colon 5000, which is my registry URL / name of image. So I'll say my Ubuntu. Right, guys, this is, I can say, my Ubuntu images. So now first I tag this image. So when you tag these images will be, it will just create in one link file to Ubuntu to this link. Now after you have to just transfer that images, then you need to run a command called docker image push to that image name. So that image, guys, which is available locally, after you tagging, then you transfer that image to registry. Now next time notes, I want to bring up my Ubuntu container. Then what I'll do, guys, I will use my container instead of using Docker Hub. I will use my URL. So now what I'll do, I will deploy one application from this container. Then I will do, guys, docker run -d, and image name will be, I will use my image name. This is the image name which is available in my local machine. Then I'll give slip command to make it 100 WhatsApp. Now hit enter. See, now I have bring up my new application using my private registry. I have not used any local images. I have not used any images from Docker Hub account. So I have used. Now if you run docker ps command, now you can see one container is running, and container, see, I have not give any name, so it's giving a random name. And now you can see the image name which download from local registry colon this. Clear all of you? So same thing if you want to pull images, so I'll use docker pull image name. So I'll say this is my image name. I'll configure here this. Sorry, I'll use this and pull. Right, so which is image is available. So instead of pulling IP localhost, I can also use the IP address called 192.168.1.150, right? So that I can pull images. So localhost IP is not for this. You have to instead of this, that will be work from outside. You can use container IP as well. So you can use localhost or container IP as well. Clear?
Sir, any comment to list what all repos are there in my
Yeah,
local?
there is one command will be there, Docker registry. I need to install one. There is you have to install one package which is called Docker-registry list. Or you
No, see,
can
one option I see is if I say Docker images and grep for localhost, I can get the list. Is it, but any other?
that is not that is for local,
No.
which is available in pool you did, right? But yeah, there is one command will be there. If you just run Google, right, you will get it one command. You need to install
Okay,
one
fine.
package called Docker registry -CLI. There is a command which I am frequently using, that I have to give registry -CLI. Then you have to give your registry name. The name of registry will be this. Name of registry, this, then hyphen list, or you can also run list all. This will give you all whatever images are present into this localhost. But since the registry CLI package is not installed, then it's not working, or else you can get this command.
Okay.
Saurav,
Got the point?
we have created a repository, right, in hub.docker.com.
Hub.com.
Yeah, dockerhub.com.
Okay.
We have created a repository over there, right? How we can push from here to the dockerhub.com in our specific repository?
I did not get the question. Can you repeat if you don't mind?
We have created a repository in
Okay,
Docker.
we have created local registry now. Local registry.
Yes.
This is our local registry. Okay.
Yeah.
No, see, this is a local registry is nothing but it's a private registry which
It's
resides
a
in the
private
server.
registry inside your machine. I have not configured called Docker Hub account, right? Docker Hub account, that is called publicly.
Okay.
Okay. So what do you want? You want me that any image that I have shown yesterday, no? If you created your customized images, and if your customized images, if you want to send that images to Hub account, you have to log into your Docker Hub account and you can transfer that one.
Yeah. Okay.
You got it? No, you have not clear.
Got it.
Okay, got it. No, that's fine. So
Saurav,
this is what we
can you
configure
scroll it
private
down?
registry. Okay.
Can you scroll it? Okay, sleep 100.
So let me, guys, I will share the steps now. If I want to create the command.
Sorry, actually, I have to ask a question. Do you have plan to do Kubernetes class today?
Today, the Kubernetes class, I will start a little introduction only.
Okay.
Only introduction.
So
Why you want to leave?
no, I have another meeting now actually. So just
Okay. So
I think you
after this
you are
one,
recording it. Yeah.
yes, we can set the recording.
Okay.
But don't try to miss the class every day. Okay.
No, actually, but this is not controlled by ourselves, so we have to
Okay,
attend the
fine.
meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So, but
Carry on.
exactly how much time you will start after? How much time you exactly going to start the
First,
Kubernetes?
now I'm discussing the registry part. After registry, I'll go for container orchestration tool, Docker Swarm. I will start installation of Docker Swarm, which is easy.
Okay.
Docker Swarm, maintaining Docker Swarm. Once done the Docker Swarm, then I'll start little introduction of Kubernetes. So it
Okay.
will take another 30 minutes after 30 or 45 minutes after 45 minutes.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so what are the steps I did, guys? So to configure, so if you want to configure, please try to configure on your laptop. It will not take much time, guys. To configure private registry on your laptop. So first step one is what? Step one, to download registry image. So that what is the registry name image called? The registry image name is also registry 2. This is the version you have to do. So how do you pull? Very simple. I run docker pull registry colon 2. So what is the steps 2? Steps 2 I'll do to bring up registry container. So to bring up my registry container, what are the command I run? Docker run -d. This registry should be run on the backend, and -p is a port number. What is the port number? 5000 port number colon 5000. Then you have to give what is the container name. You can also give a specific name of your container. I can give any name. So I'll say registry local. So this is a local registry, or I can give a yes, registry local. This is the name of your container. And whenever you to bring up registry container, you should give a name of image. What is the image name? My image name is this. So I'll give my image name. So this command will create a container. So to verify, steps 3 will be verify the container, registry container. If you want to verify, what are the command? I'll run a docker ps command to verify. Once you verify, which command now I want to push some images, push Ubuntu image to my local repository, local registry. You can say repository or local registry. So to push, guys, what are the first to identify? You need to identify which image you want to push. So I first identified I want to transfer this image tagging. So this is a command I just use here. So this command, what exactly it will do? First, docker image tagging. This is a local image. This Ubuntu is locally which is available, and I want to tagging to this URL. After that, what I'll do? Need to transfer. So to push the image, from local to private registry. So how to push that images? You have to run docker image push. It's very simple. These are the steps you can use. So if you want to practice on your laptop, you can. And these are the, believe me, these are the things only used in the production, or not production, as a learning environment, as an industry. If you want to do small kind of POC in your office, you have to configure registry, which there is no internet, pull all the images from Docker Hub account, then you create a container and give a show demo, right? So once is done, this is the commands I have done. And now this is for registry is done. Now what I'll do, guys, now I want to.
So, Saurabh, one query. So when
Yeah,
you
please.
execute Docker image, so it will show you all the images what are available on the
It is
Docker Hub,
available
right?
local machine, in the local
No,
image.
I'm not
Is
talking
it?
about local machines. Local machines, I'm talking about when you execute Docker image or some, it is showing the, the images what are available on the Docker Hub, right?
No Docker Hub, no Docker Hub. Whenever you
Okay.
execute Docker image on your laptop, it will show you what are the images currently available in your local machine. Okay. Currently, say if you do, you think in Docker Hub only these are the 6 images are available? Docker image Hub, a lot of images are there. But whenever you pull images from Docker Hub, which is that image will be available in your local machine. So you say these are the images presently available in my local machine, because I have pulled that images from registry.
Okay, so so
Okay.
that command to pull that Docker pool, we are using the specific image name, Ubuntu or CentOS,
Image name.
whatever you want to pull. So on that,
Yes.
let's say if I want to list only the CentOS what is available in the Docker registry, I mean I want to see what are the versions and what is available, then only I can
Yes. Then
select.
you can go to first logging to your Docker Hub account. Okay. Or you can use what you can use. You can use Docker search command. Docker search CentOS. So if you see, hit enter, you will see here lot of images which is available your registry. These are the registry. Any images you can pull.
Okay.
Clear?
So Docker search is the command to search a
Yeah,
specific.
Docker search is a command to check whether this what is the version of images which is available in a registry
for CentOS,
or
right?
CentOS, yes. Or if you wanted to do if you want to do with CLI mode, a graphical mode, then you have to use Docker hub account, so which I have already shown you yesterday. Docker.com you have to log
Yeah,
in.
that I am aware. I just want to see from the
Exactly.
CLI how we can
That's
see.
fine. Okay. Understood. You got your question answered?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Now, once you guys push that images, now I want to deploy or I want to deploy container from my local repository. So I'll say I want to deploy Ubuntu container from my private registry. So for that, what I'll do, I'll just run docker run -d, docker run -d. What is the image name? You have to use image name will be here. This is the image name. I just copy that image over here. This is the image will pull. Then I'll give my application name. What is the image name you want to give? I'll say Ubuntu local, Ubuntu desktop, whatever, right? Then I can give a sleep command, so which will be start with 100 seconds. So this is what all about, guys. The next time or not, if image is available your local repository, then you don't need to give image path from Ubuntu. Like you have to give your local image path and Ubuntu. This is what to
So
configure it.
what if we want
Okay.
to tag that new image?
What you want to tag with? I didn't get this
And
one you're
what if I
talking about.
want to tag the new image? New image
Okay, you
with the
want to
last
tag with the
command.
new images.
Last
Yeah,
command.
you can do the same process only.
Yeah.
Now you tell me which image you want to tag.
The same Ubuntu image, when I'm trying to run a new container, I want to tag that new image with the new name.
Yeah, you can use this, no, this name.
Oh, that is only the name. But how about tag? Can I
No,
use the
then you
tag
have to
as well?
create tagging. If Docker tag command you can do, Docker
You
image
have
tag,
to
or you
tag with image, I guess. Docker
yes, you have
image
to tag
tag.
with image. Docker image tag command you
Okay.
have to use. Suppose you want to give some different name, then same process
Okay.
you have to follow. Docker image tag. I will give which images which is available. My Ubuntu which is available locally. So I'll say this image I want to tag with different name. So I'll say localhost colon 5000. Okay. Then I'll say which image you want to give. I'll just give Ubuntu desktop. Or I can give
You
Ubuntu.
CentOS.
I will give you some version name. I'll say 1.10 or 1.18. What is the version I can give? You can give a tag. Docker image tag. Okay, you have to give that image. Okay, sorry, Docker image
Yes, you need to
s
image.
image. Okay. So Ubuntu, which is not able locally because that is there in localhost. So I'll say, okay, Ubuntu, which is called Ubuntu. I can give this. Got the point? So with some different name, or you after that you can use Docker push, right? And this. So now I can say I have the 1.18 version of image which is available right now.
Can you run that image? I mean, can you run that image?
Yeah, you that is what no. You see, we have used it here. Which image you want to run?
Not the
Now I'll
same
run
one.
Docker run -d. Okay. And
Yeah.
what is the image name? This is my image name. I'm just using this image name, and I'll give what is the. I don't want to use a container name here. I'll give a slip 1000 whatsoever. So container is created.
Okay. So how do we give the container name? We don't need to give any container name.
If you want to give a container name, same option you have to give here -hyphen name.
Hyphen name. Okay.
Name. Okay. Name and whatever name you want to give. So classroom Ubuntu. This is a container name. So again, one more container will create. So what happens? Okay, you have to give. You should not give Dash container should not give any name. Hyphen. So I'll say just classroom. Container will be started. Executable file. Okay. Because see, this image version is not there, right? 1.18 and
Yeah.
so that's why it's
No,
getting
but
it. But if image,
when you run that, no, when you run now, you can see the container has been executed,
yeah,
right?
container
If
you
you go
can
to
say, but
Docker PS,
you can say docker
Docker
ps
PS,
command, you can get that container, but the problem is you cannot go inside. See, now even if you see, only you can see container is running now. Okay,
yeah.
but what is
So
the
the
error
name,
you're saying here? There is no executable file. That means you
right?
can't go inside that one. Then you can do customize. You can give the path also.
Okay, but my question is the name, right? Now the new container name is Cody ascending underscore bell. So how do we need to change that name?
Then I told you the command docker rename command. There is a command docker rename.
Okay.
Yes or no? Docker
Yeah.
rename. Give this is the old name. And then new
Okay.
name. I'll give Ubuntu. Container change.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Okay. So this is what, guys, all about Docker, how to deploy one registry, Docker registry, how to configure, and after you store images in your registry, how to deploy it. This is all about your local registry. Okay. Now, what will happen next? What is our target will be now? For example, do not say. Now, I have two container. Now I have a two node. This is a now I have two nodes. So this is one node 1 and another is called node 2. Node 2. Two nodes are available. So I will give here, guys, here the host name called node 1. I'll give here the host name called node 2. Node 2. And in this machine, we have already configured Docker. If I tell Docker is already configured. Docker is already
So
configured.
you mean to say that this is a worker node, right? Worker node 1
This is
and
the
worker
worker
node
node.
2.
Yeah, you have a two worker nodes is there, and where you have a deploy Docker container you have running. Some containers now you have created, some multiple containers you have created. Container 1, container 2, container 3. Same here, some containers are created. You have created some container here. Lot of containers are running with different worker node. Fair enough. If I give here command call, if I do docker compose command, if I give replica equal to 3, that means same container will be hosted in same worker node only. Yes or no? Agree? If I create docker compose command on my laptop, I create 3 containers are created. What will happen if this container goes down? Then you cannot access your container. Then your application will be went down right now. Even though if you have two worker node, even though you have two different worker node, and this you can't communicate. You cannot communicate to this. This you can't communicate. So there is no use of two different node. Yes or no? Some independence. If this node goes down, whatever containers running on node 1, all the nodes goes down. Or whenever I'll run a command called replica or scaling, or suppose I give a scaling equal to 3, right? I want my copy, that means my container should, one container should running in node 1 and one more replica should go to the next node. So if it's automatically moving my container node 1 and node 2, even if my node 1 goes down, I can say that my application still I can able to accessible because my container is running under the node 2 nodes. Got the point? So how to achieve this one, guys? Who can help me, give me this benefit? Who can give me this who is responsible for if I do replica, my pod will travel to multiple node instead of single node. And how will I communicate? I want to communicate from this container to this container. By default, cannot possible.
Saurabh, is this two different nodes mean two different
Two
virtual
different worker
machines or
node.
physical machine?
Two different
Like, is
virtual
it
machine. Yes.
okay?
Okay. So by default, this cannot be possible in the Docker. Now you have learned Docker, you created images, and you have good knowledge of bring down your application, bring up multiple applications. Everything looks good. What will happen if my node 1 went down? Who is responsible for bring up my all application went down, and node 1, and you are not getting any load balancer also, and you are also not getting if application went down automatically, no one can bring up your application. And if I create a replica, all my container travel within one worker node only, even if I have multiple node, cannot. So how to combine this node? I want to combine this node. So to combine this node, guys, you need to configure one orchestration tool. Docker has own orchestration tool that is called Docker Swarm. Docker Swarm will be there. So you need to configure one Docker Swarm server. So you just need to be configure one Docker Swarm. Sorry, I'll say one Docker Swarm I will configure. So I'll say, yeah, this is my Docker Swarm manager. So if I have this machine controller, what this guy is, Docker Swarm will responsible. This guy is responsible for to combine this node. So he will configure one cluster. He will combine together. So I'll say, yeah, this I can combine, this I can combine, right? So Docker has own orchestration tool. And you know, guys, if you deploy Docker Swarm, and I will give you the difference between Docker Swarm and Kubernetes, but I will just show you a little demo for installation of Docker Swarm. How do you configure Docker Swarm? So to implement Docker Swarm, then this is called cluster. I will say this is my cluster, or I can say this is my master node. I can say this is my master node. So this node is responsible for to combine multiple node together. This Docker Swarm will give you feature like if you create a multiple replica, if you give replica equal to 3, then automatically your application will travel to node 1 and node 2, right? A lot of things you will get. But Docker Swarm, to set up a Docker Swarm, you need to run only single command, only one command, which is called Docker. Just read one command called Docker Swarm init. Just run one command. So when you run this command, your cluster will be set up. Is it got the point? Why do you need orchestration tool? Because orchestration tool which will manage your container platform. Orchestration tool will give you that platform which will be friendly deployment to your application, on demand bring up your application, on demand scale your application. So if you just tell, if my container 1 will be reached 90%, please create one more container automatically, right? All things will provided by Kubernetes. But Docker Swarm, the problem is Docker Swarm is what? After you deploy, for example, if you want to today, suppose Docker Swarm version will be, for example, Docker Swarm version will be 1.18. Tomorrow new version came called tomorrow I got new version called 1.19. Then if you want to deploy 1.19, it's completely you cannot upgrade through online. That means you can't do online activity. You require a downtime. So you need to bring down your application, and you have to inform to the customer, hey, I am planning to upgrade my Docker Swarm cluster. It required a 8 hours downtime. And Docker Swarm will not give you automatically on demand. You cannot bring up your application. You have to do manually. There are a lot of difference between Docker Swarm init will be there. But Docker Swarm installation is easy, but your cluster is not healthy. Not healthy means what? After like a Windows machine. On Windows server, why Windows server is not famous? Why Linux is famous? Because on Windows, if you want to install any packages required a reboot, anything you wanted to do, they will ask you to do reboot your machine. So same thing, the Docker also. Anything you want to change your config file, whatever you want to do, you have to reboot your machine. So that is what, guys. Docker is disadvantages will be there, but in the market there are
So
high level orchestration tool which is called Kubernetes, OpenShift, AWS, Azure, all thing. Yes, please go ahead.
yeah, so my quick question is how do the master node will come to know what are my worker nodes? What because just running
Yeah,
Docker
yeah, yeah.
Swarm.
Okay, you have to do setup after you configure Docker Swarm. Then there is a command you have to run called you have to run one more command called in each node you have to run a command called Docker join. When you run Docker join, right, this command will be, this node will be added to master. Got the point?
Okay.
I'll show you the setup.
Okay.
How to
And
set up. I'll show you.
Can we create a cluster of two different clusters, like like can we create a whole replica of this thing as a other one?
You want
Like
to make a copy?
Yeah, what I mean to say is that we have that setup.
You're asking
right?
DR or what? DR? You're talking about DR?
No, you want to create another master setup, same
Yeah, you
kind
okay,
of setup
yeah,
master.
you can do that. You can do that. You can do that.
Because to avoid downtime and all the stuff, can we create another node and
Oh, you're asking this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So see, again, the problem is what you have to do. Too much investment you have to do, right? Again, you have to do copy of same replica, make available one more thing. You down over here, bring up there, and do over there. That is what Docker some things you have to do. There is a industry, they will go for DR. Whenever this will be down, so they will say, okay, bring down here, then bring up here. Once done the activity, bring down and bring up again here. But here duplicate, right? Same capacity will be required for DR as well. Yes or no?
Right.
So overcome this problem, and there are a lot of other disadvantages will be there. So everything which will give you CK, which is called Kubernetes.
Can you please discuss again
Right?
the disadvantage of the Docker swarm? I didn't get to that point.
Which one you didn't get?
The Docker swarm disadvantage.
Whole point? You didn't get?
No, the Docker swarm itself. No, you're saying actually the Kubernetes
so
actually, yeah.
Okay, fine. See, what I'm trying to explain you right now over here. Right now, you created one node and you deploy multiple container. Is that understood? You have example. You have one node one. You deploy 50 container over here and 50 container over here. And this, if this node went down, you cannot access this container. That part you have clear.
Yes.
And next thing is what? To combine this worker node. Suppose I want to combine these two nodes. So to combine, you need to configure one cluster. You need to configure cluster. That means who can create a cluster? Either you can configure Docker Swarm or you can configure the Kubernetes, because you need a one orchestration which is responsible for managing worker node, right? So then you have to configure orchestration. So there are different orchestration tools are available in the market. I'm just giving one example, which is called Docker Swarm. Docker has own orchestration tool. The name is called Docker Swarm. Great. So Docker Swarm minimum, what is the requirement? You have to configure one machine which is called master, or you can say Docker Swarm manager. So this manager, only the job is manager is what? To monitor this node, to monitor this worker node. What is the responsible? This manager is responsible for combining all are together. It will combine all are in together.
Yes. Yeah, I think in the Docker enterprise we call it as a UCP, right? Universal Control Plane. It's the same one.
Exactly. Yeah, same one, same one. Yeah. Okay. So,
Okay.
and the problem
And
for Docker
do we
Swarm again,
need
guys.
to?
Yeah, do you need to?
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Do we need to assign a floating IP for a cluster master when we are using
No, no,
Docker
you
Swarm?
just need to assign static IP, just static IP. Okay.
Okay, so that static IP will be talking to two nodes simultaneously,
Two nodes. Yeah,
two
yeah, because
worker
that will
nodes.
be Docker network will there. Docker network will be there. So they will talk to each other. You don't worry about that one. Network flow you
Oh,
will clear when we discuss our Kubernetes networking concept. Clear?
Saurabh,
okay.
can you
So,
All right.
so next.
are you gonna explain me about the networking also in this one, Docker?
Yeah. That is what Docker networking will be. The Docker networking, Kubernetes networking, both are same only. So
Both are same. Okay.
we will discuss that. Yeah, we'll discuss
And
that one.
what about the
Whenever we
persist?
start with Kubernetes networking, Kubernetes,
Mhm.
yeah, persistence, volume, storage, everything will comes under our Docker Kubernetes class only. Don't worry.
Okay. 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 Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No problem. So guys, now hopefully everybody clear, right? So if I want to set up a Docker Swarm, what are the prerequisites required? So prerequisite is I have to I require two. One is called Swarm Manager, Docker Swarm Manager, right? And next will be guys required a worker node. You have to decide how many worker node you require. Worker node 1, 2, 3, whatsoever. I'll say worker node dash 1, and I want to add worker node dash 2. So these three node I need to bring three nodes. So this is, I can say this is my master, and I can say this is my node 1 and this is my node 2. That means on this node you can create a container. That means container is nothing but application. You can deploy a container. Hopefully clear. So what other prerequisites required? Each machine should configure. This is called manager, who is managing the worker node. This node is responsible for managing worker node. Clear? So each node Docker should install. Prerequisite is first Docker should install each node, and you guys already know how to install a Docker each machine. Docker need to install each node. So I'll say this node also should install Docker.
Saurabh,
Clear, all of you?
yeah, actually, do you have any plan to discuss different runtimes actually? The difference between the container D and CRIO and the Docker itself? Or do you have any plan to discuss
That
the
is the different.
differences?
That is easy only. Nothing is there. So if you want, I can explain you. Doesn't
Yeah, it
matter.
will be better because it's
So
really always confused. Something like,
no,
the
why
runtimes.
you are confused? Nothing confused. Just you say
Yeah,
Docker is a container, CRI also container, right? If you
okay.
want to use a CRIO, then you have to use a doc CRIO pull command, like you are using Docker, right? So if you are comfortable with Docker, you can work with CRIO also. Don't worry. Will be same feature, nothing different.
So then the container D, what is the container D and the difference between the Docker and container D runtime?
That is service name, the service name. Okay, so when we install our Kubernetes, that can be you. If you want, we can discuss that as well.
Okay.
Okay, so first prerequisite is what, guys? First you need to create a VM. Once your VM is ready, you need to install a Docker. So you have to create this way. So I can see in my machine, in my environment, we have already are you able to hear me, guys? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Oh, but it's showing, sometimes it's showing I'm a left Darwin. I don't know.
Yes, yes, I can.
Okay.
Because you logged in
Okay, fine.
twice.
Oh, I logging twice, is it? I don't know. Okay, sorry for that. So I want to configure Docker Swarm server. What is the process? What is the process I need to follow? Very simple process, and which will take 1 minute to bring up Docker Swarm. but Kubernetes setup will be difficult. But once once Kubernetes cluster setup is done, then guys, your cluster will be healthy. Any task you do, there will be no downtime. So there are a lot of things you will get, but here you will not get anything, only one single command you need to run. So for example, I want to set up, guys, this VM. How to set up these 3 VM? I want to set up all 3 VM, and if you just go to your document called docs.docker.com. So you should use okay, docs.docker.com. If you just mention call Docker Swarm, you will see here Docker Swarm installation. So which commands you should use? So Docker Swarm, that command, so you can just use a command called Docker Swarm init command. So initialization of your cluster. So fair enough. So what I'll do, I need to bring up this 3 VM. I need to bring up this 3 VM. How do I bring up this 3 VM, guys? So I can see this is my cluster, and you can see your Docker is already available, right? This machine is already Docker is already installed. So right click, I'll just make a clone here. I'll just to make a clone, I need to shut down this VM. So what I'll do, I'll just shut down this VM. My job is done. Shut down power up. Fair enough. I'll just do, guys, here Docker clone it. So I'll say first I need to configure the host name will be Docker Swarm server or Docker Swarm manager. So I'll just give here, guys, generate a new MAC address, give me the new MAC address and click next and give a linked clone, then clone it. So I'll get one VM. Same thing, I don't want to touch anything over here. I'll just make a clone this VM. So I'll give call Docker worker node -1. So I'll give here same name, and automatically I'll get link clone and tab.
Saurav, what is this linked clone?
Clear? So same thing. Link on means a shortcut. So you don't. It's not a fully clone, right? So it will, if you do full min, it will take more space for you. So if you do not have a space more, better to go for clone. So
Okay.
if I do here one more, I'll just mention here one more node. So I'll go for Docker hyphen worker hyphen node hyphen 2. Second worker node, and I'll go for generate new MAC address and next link clone and clone it.
But Saurabh, in master node, can
Now
we
I
run
can
any
see
container?
what?
In master node, can we run any container? Master node only responsible for to manage the worker node, right? But just now I created couple of clones, right? Then in that clones, I think couple of containers is also there.
You can also do that way also. You master, because see, I have a clone means there are some already containers are running already. You can clone, you can kill all the existing container, doesn't matter. Now guys, I just
excuse me, the first node Swarm
yeah.
manager which we have cloned, is it asking me for full clone or link clone? What we should do?
No, link clone, all link clone, link clean.
Link clone,
Only
link
link.
clone. Okay.
Can you
So guys,
can you show me once again how to clone it?
very simple. Just do right click, make a clone. Right click and you just clone, because I have already started the VM. That's why I'm not able to
Yeah,
clone
but
it, right? So let me
asking
let
it
me
is asking.
power off.
Yeah.
Right click, you just do right click, clone, give clone name here, whatever clone name you want to give, and here you can select here generate new MAC address and click next, select linked log,
Because
click
see,
this
I
one.
could only see one option. It is reinitialize MAC address for all networks.
What options you're getting?
Reinitialize the MAC address of all the network cards.
No, that doesn't matter. You forget about this one. You even it's not required this. Even you don't. Since I have option, I'm giving generate. You
Oh,
blank it, left it whatever there. Okay, left blank
So,
whatever there. Just
how
click
about
next
this
here and make a link.
snapshot? We don't need it, right? Snapshot is not needed because I
If you
might be
want to take
using the
snapshot, you
older
can take
version.
it.
Yeah.
If you
Okay.
want to take a snapshot, you can take it. Doesn't matter. Now, guys, now you can see now I have three worker node which is available. 3 nodes are available, and this is one node, second node, third node. I have 3 nodes. What is the next now? I told you each node by default, whenever you create a VM, you need to configure Docker. Since Docker is already installed on this node, then I don't need to follow the Docker installation because I have a clone I did. Clone means what? Same whatever things you did on that machine, same things will be applicable on those 3 nodes as well. What the point?
Address policy,
You
the
have to
MAC
change
address
the IP
policy, it
address, right?
should,
You have to change
the
the IP
MAC
address.
address,
Method policy you can keep anything, it doesn't matter. Okay, automatically you, because you have to change the IP address.
Yeah.
Okay,
okay.
but the problem is what, guys, here the problem is what I have created, but I have to give the IP because when you do clone, right, every node will get a same IP only. You have to change the IP address. So I'll say logging to root, give some password over here, and I have logged in, and get into this process. You have already make it documented. So I'll just changing the IP address, this interface. So I'll assign the IP for this node. I'll assign the IP. I'll say this node IP. I will go for 151. Okay. I'll assign IP called 151. Now save this file. Then I'll go for net plan apply. When I do net plan apply, so I can see when I do if config, I will get the IP called 1.50, 151. I got the 151 IP address. Okay, next will be I will also change the host name. Instead of host name Docker, right? Okay, host name I will change remotely. First I'm changing the IP address all the machine. Next I will say again I'm logging to second node. I'll change the IP address root Red Hat. Then I'll go for sorry. So this process you know guys how to change the IP address net plan. Hit enter, give the IP call. Let me give the IP call here 152. Now save this file. I'll give a net plan apply. This is also done. So I will also show you one more node over here. Root Red Hat. Just change the IP etc. Net plan. This. I'll just change the IP address on this machine as well, guys. I'll give a 150.153. Now I will save this file. That means every node I have changed the IP address. Now what I'll do, whatever task I will do, I will do as a through connecting from this machine now onwards. I'll connecting from over here. So what I'll do, guys, let me close everything. Close all the tab. Yes. Close everything now. Let me reopen again, open again. So I'll just connect over here. Putty session. I'll just SSH. I'll do 192.168.1.150 51, which is my IP address. So I'll connect over here. I can able to SSH root. I'll give a password Red Hat. Click now. Same thing. I will connect another node. So sorry. I'll just do one more node with SSH 192.168.1.152. I will enter that here, root user. Did I give any mistake IP? 192.152. Where is the IP address for 152? Okay, might be after changing, I have not restarted the service. At plan apply. 153. This is 153.
So what is the difference between linked clone and full clone?
So link clone will take little space. Full clone means it will take full size of your VM. So it will take entire size.
Okay.
So let me connect again. 192.168.1.152. Now I can able to SSH because I didn't restart that service. I can do SSH to, or might be this is a conflict. Network is a conflict. Okay, let me go back to changing a different IP. I'll assign another IP address. So what is the IP? 150. Can I able to connect 153? Let me connect. So meanwhile, guys, please do it on your laptop itself. Nothing because this thing you already know. 1.153. 153 is working fine. Let me see. 152 is a problem. 152. Okay. Over here, I'll give instead of 152, I'll assign 155. So save this file. Netplan apply. Now I will connect one more IP with 192.168.1.155. 155 able to logging now. Red Hat. Okay, so I have connected all three machines. So what I'm doing, guys, now I will decide this 151 machine is my. I will configure this machine is my Docker Swarm manager. So what is the host name I have to give? I'll change host name CTL set hyphen host name. I'll give Docker, or I can give anything. Swarm hyphen manager dot manager dot example.com. So I'll say base command, it will change my host name. So now if I run host name, I can say this command, right? So better you put it, guys, in host file as well. Host file as well, you just put it in host file. So I'll say in host file, I will use 192.168 dot 168.190.160.1.151. That IP 151. The host name is, what is the host name? Host name is this. This is my host name.
Example.com.
Okay. Thank you. So I'll just copy this same IP twice. Copy. So I'll just change it here. IP I given 152, another IP called 155. Those IP, sorry, 153 IP. 152 is not there.
Workernode.com.
So I'll just So I'll just use, guys, here worker node 1. Okay. Second will be, I will use here worker node 2. Okay, worker node 2. So I have a 3 nodes. So same thing, what I'll do, same things, I'll just copy a line. I will paste every nodes. So that I don't want to type over here. It's done. I'll go to my second node, 153 node. So first what I'll do, I'll change here. Next, first job is a host name CTL set hyphen host name. I'll give worker node 1 dot example dot com. This is what I have given the guys. So this is my host name. Now if I do base command, I'll see worker node 1. Now I'll go guys etc for host file. Inside the host file, I'll paste my all the information which I copied. Save this file. So what is the IP address of this node? 153. So cat etc host file. 153 node is worker node 1. I have given here. That's fine, fair enough. So I'll just copy this one now. So this node as well, I'll just wanted to do this. I'll give now guys host name CTL set hyphen host name. My host name will be this worker node 2. So same things I need to put it in a host file. All of you know what is the host file required, local, because I don't have a DNS server. So local DNS server, I'll just configure local DNS server. So fair enough. All the setup I have done, all setup is done. So what are the setup I did? First I have created VM, Docker is already installed. Then I have assigned host name and IP address. So unique host name, unique IP address required, and put it in local DNS host file, which is nothing but here /etc/host file. This is my local DNS host file. Fair enough. So what I need to configure now, right now, I'll run base command, which is changed right now. So everything is perfect, guys. Everything is perfect right now. Now, as for this diagram, I need to configure first Docker Swarm Manager. So how to configure Docker Swarm Manager? The command will be Docker Swarm init. So you just run a command over here called Docker Swarm. Docker Swarm.
I guess we need to install required packages, right?
Already
It's
installed. Package, everything is installed. Okay. The Docker will comes automatic. Docker Swarm command will come. So you just need to run one command, guys. Docker Swarm init. When you hit enter one command, automatically it will configure Swarm initialization is done. Now, any node, if you want to join any worker node, you just copy this command. This command you need to paste in each worker node. So I'll say this is the worker node. I run this command here. This will join. This will join.
So if we are going to make a cluster of Docker Swarm nodes, like a UCP cluster, like 3 nodes, so how are we going to do it like that? So you have to.
You're talking about 3 master?
Yeah, 3 master. So every worker node we need to connect to the 3 master.
Yes. No, see that when you do Docker Swarm 3 master, you will get one VIP, the virtual IP you will get.
Okay.
That IP you have to use over here. Instead of using local IP, you will use a virtual IP. So you have to raise one ticket with your hyper like load balancer team. You just tell, hey, I'm planning to configure one cluster. So all 3 master IP should be pointing to one VIP IP. So you just give VIP IP over here.
So natively it will not going to do the load balancing, like same
No. You have to.
No, it will do load balance.
Load balancer you have to configure. Okay, guys. It's very simple. First, you did Docker Swarm, which will, when you run this command, this Docker Swarm manager will be done. Now you need to add this node you need to add to Docker Swarm. Then what you need to do, just copy this command, same command. I'll just run same copy command. I will run it under the each node, whichever node you wanted to add, run this command. That's it. Your job is done now. Now guys, if you come to your cluster, now I will ask you a question. Hey, please deploy one application under node 1. So in this case, in my old fashion, what we are doing, we are logging to node 1 and deploy the container. You're logging to node 2 deploy the container. Now what I will do, I will log into my Docker Swarm server. I will configure over here. Whenever you deploy container on Docker Swarm Manager, Docker Swarm will be push that container to node 1 and node 2. That is responsible for cluster will managing. You're not going to do individual logging to node 1 and deploy your job.
By default, it will push to both the nodes or only
Yes, by
single node. We
default,
need to
when you
define.
do, no, you don't need to define anything. When you mention replica equal to 2, the replica is nothing but, when you say replica equal to 2 mean your container should travel both the node. Okay, suppose if you mention replica equal to 3, that means if you do not have a 3 node, then first container will go to node 1, second container will go node 2, and third container will come to again node 1, because we do not have a 3 nodes, we have a 2 nodes only.
But Saurabh, it's not going to check the amount of resources, is availability and everything
Those
same
thing,
like in the
yeah, those
Kubernetes?
thing definitely, those thing will check definitely. So he will check whether those resources are available or not. So that is responsible for who is going to do that only. You are not going to that. There is one service will taking care, which is called scheduler job will be running. Okay.
Okay.
Good question.
Yeah.
Now, guys.
One more thing,
Yeah,
Saurabh,
go
is
ahead.
what is the point of giving a host name when Docker Swarm is trying to connect with IP address?
Okay, that is fine. But if you want to configure, if you see, if I run Docker Swarm, because see guys, I'm just installed first time only, so I'm not familiar with Docker Swarm. I'm trying my best. Let me, how do I run Docker or Docker node list?
But
when you run Docker node list, you are seeing the host name. By default, it will talking with the host name. It will take your host name and it will say that in this cluster you have three node. This is a master and this is your worker node. And even though if you industry, you cannot talk to each machine through IP address, right? Obviously you should require a DNS server, which is resolve host name to IP to name. So in that case, in my classroom scenario, I do not have any DNS server. That is what I did. I have collected IP host name and put it under a local DNS server, which is called /etc host file. Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so now guys, now if you see now, if you want to deploy any container, you are not going to do on this node. You can do everything on master node itself. So if you want to check how many worker nodes are there on your cluster, run the node list command. So here I just search here Qvadium.
Docker node ls.
Yeah, Docker node ls I written now. So I just wanted to see here there is a command which will be auto completion. You just need to install one package which will give you auto completion. Okay. So here when you run Docker, right, the tab is not working. See, the options is not showing. So there is one package you need to install, Docker. You just need to install one package. You need to install sudo apt get install Docker completion app. This will be auto completion commands will be. So just install this package. This is already done. Just run this
So this is only for Docker Swarm, or even the Kubernetes also we have to do the same thing?
Everything.
No, in the
Everything
even the
will work.
Kubernetes also we have to do the same thing.
Yeah.
The
The
auto
Kubernetes
completion.
yes, you have to do everywhere, so that you don't need to type the command, whole command. You will get a tab will be automatically complete. So let me 168.1.
Even in the examination we have to do it.
Examination, no, examiner will by default will do that. That will already enable in exam by default.
Okay.
So Red Hat, just enter the password. So now it's working. See guys, before it was not working, right? Now if you run Docker node is working fine. The Docker node ls command, you can see here what are the nodes are available. So right now you can see each node ready states are there, all are ready state. And now suppose if you want to deploy one application, how do you deploy one application, guys? Docker. So I'll say Docker. There's a command Docker service. Okay, Docker service will be there. Docker service create. So Docker service create -d, I'll do backend. And what is the image? I'll just do Nginx application I want to deploy, right? And what is the image name, application name you want to give? Or I'll give here application name name, or I'll just directly call here Nginx. Hit enter. So this will create a container. So when you run Docker service, now you can see one container is created. Now if you run Docker service, I think Docker service, what is the command? Docker service ls command. It will check you, see one container is a running stage right now. How many replica? One replica you have available. And
Means it will deploy in node 1 only.
Node 1, yeah, node 1, node 2. So, and
If you
suppose you want to create
more replica, yeah.
Yes, that is what I'm planning to do now. Suppose you want to do more replica, then I just do Docker service. There is a called scale command. Say Docker scale. Docker scale Docker scale. I will give what is the application name. I'll give my application name will be. Here you have to give application. I can give my application image ID equal to how many? I'll say give it 3 or 2, whatever. So it's created 3 container. You're just verifying. So now if you run Docker service service ls command ls, now you can see guys 3 replica is running. So now
How can we know that how many are running on each node?
what?
No, I want to know that how many services are running on each node.
Yeah, then you have to do little R&D. I too new to this Docker Swarm. So
Docker service
you
PS would be that.
Docker. Sorry, I'm using kubectl. Sorry for that. Docker. I'll just
PS.
node. You just give a node ls. Okay, node ls will give you how many? If you give Docker node ps, that is fine. It will tell you which container is running. And see, by default, guys, you can also mention my port should also go to manager also. See, manager is nothing but managing, but there is an option to enable this node also can be hosting the application, but there is not good practice to deploy application in the cluster. Okay. Fine, guys. So if you want to check inspect the node, suppose you want to check some information about this node, so I'll give that node name over here. So you can see here all the details about your node, and in this node how many containers are running. So those details also you can find in here. Certificate details, what is the IP address on this node. So just do little R&D, but I'm not recommended you to go do little more R&D on this, because nobody is using Docker Swarm. You have to dealing with all things, guys, on Kubernetes as well.
So
this is
local repository do we need to create in Docker manager, or it should be a separate repository?
Which one? I didn't get.
I'm
Come
talking
again.
about the Docker repository, private repository I'm talking about.
If you want to configure private, the same registry only, no? Same.
No, we have to create in the master node, or it should be the separate node.
You should that machine should a separate node.
And from there we
if
can
you don't
configure,
have
right?
if you don't have any node, then one node can be your registry, or you can create one more clone. You create one more clone and
I guess
use
we
this
need to
clone.
create another container.
Yes, you can create one more node, and this machine act as a registry. But registry you are creating not required one more node. You just create a registry port. So what you'll do, I'll say registry service create, and I will do -d and -p port number 5000 colon 5000. Okay, and registry, I'll say registry colon 2. This will create a registry port in the local machine. You create a container, finish. Now if you
Okay,
just
great.
do the service ls, you can see one container, right? This machine, this is just port. It's just port,
Yeah.
registry port.
So,
Got the point?
yeah, the Docker some will support the auto scaling.
Auto scaling will not support. You have to configure manually. Manually, you have to bring off your application.
That's not auto scaling. That will be scaling actually, right? Scaling up, scaling down. Auto scaling is it will be automatically happen, right?
Automatic. That will be features will be there in the CKA, which is called Kubernetes.
So this the compose will work in this environment, like Docker compose.
Compose. Why do you need compose? You directly compose will work here in this platform as well, but this will be give you multi-container because this is a cluster you directly deploy.
Okay.
1 second, I'll connect my charger. So hopefully all are clear.
So one quick question. Is it possible, rather than creating a registry container, is it possible to create a private registry on the
you can also,
operating system?
yes, you can configure instead. If you don't want to configure registry as a container base, if you want to follow the node, you you can just go over here. You can just Docker registry configure registry. So when you configure registry, this for your container base, right? But if you want to deploy registry, you want to separate one of the machine, yes, you can do. You just configure Docker registry. So if you do Docker registry, yes, here. This one is your local, how we did now. Then follow this process.
Okay, all right.
But if you want to separate things, you want to configure deploy a registry server, or you want to configure a registry, you can follow this process as well. One separate machine you can configure, right?
Okay, good question here. I have if you want to set up for the Docker Swarm, can you manage active passive in the Docker, or you need a Kubernetes for that?
Active passive?
Yes.
Yes. 1 second. Yes, that can be possible through Docker Swarm, but you should have multiple master. But as an industry, to managing a container platform, most of 99 guys, they can go to select Kubernetes only, because there are a lot of things you will get too many automation, deployment automation, application customize, can be deploy your application online, customer can deploy. See, usually our job is a admin job. If developer are happy, means our platform will be good. So if developer are comfortable with our platform, means many guys will come and use our platform. That is what every weekend or every quarter you have to give a demo to bring the customer to your platform. That is our job, right? So you have to tell, we will help you to containerize your application. That is what in our project also, every quarter we have to give a demo, showcase to customer, to bring a customer. So if you bring more customer to your project, then many new guys will come to join to your project. So that is what the Kubernetes will be like, one platform which will be customers are happy to use that platform, because on-demand replication, on-demand deployment, there is no downtime. So a lot of features will be available online. You can upgrade your application without downtime. But here you can't do anything you want to do deploy. You have to bring down and bring up. So guys, hopefully everybody clear what exactly I'm trying to explain you today. So suppose while I'm during my application, I want to deploy call service create. I want to deploy under backend, and my container name I want to deploy call Redis is one application. Redis database I want to deploy Redis, and while deploy I will mention -- skill. I'll say -- replica. So replica I give 4 replica. Right, that means whenever you bring up your application, while during your bring up your application as well, you can give how many container do you need. When you hit enter, so it will create 4 replica. So now if you run docker service ps, sorry, docker service ls, so now you can see you have deployed one application name is called Redis, and which has how many replica? It says 1 replica, still not ready. Okay,
I guess still not created.
not created.
Yeah,
So
possibly it will take some time. Possibly
yeah,
it will take
sometime it
some
will
time.
bring because it's bringing time. Yeah, that's fine. But your command you can take automatically, will do that one. After deploy, suppose your service already deployed, then you have to do scale command. Suppose your container is already running, you want to bring down, so service create -- scale or scale command. You can use create that command I have already explained, right guys? You have used this command called scale command. Say this one. Existing application you want to increasement, you can use increase those things. So these are the nothing but Docker Swarm. So if you want to do make R&D, then you use tools you have to use Docker Swarm command. So you will see here all the documentation. You can use it Docker Swarm init, initialize and join, leave. So if you want to, I want to remove, I'll say I want to remove the node 2. Then you just run a command called Docker Swarm leave node 1. The node will be removed from your cluster. And if you want to upgrade Docker Swarm update, this will be update your cluster. Same thing, if you see here, a lot of things will be available. You can use all the commands here. Docker history, Docker export, all the commands you can over here. But this is just I'm discussing, guys, all the basic things. I'm not discussing like advanced of the Docker. So advanced Docker will have multiple things there, but believe me, these are the basic things which is required to manage sufficient knowledge which is required to managing container platform. But if you are in the developer, guys, then you have to learn little more the developer task, which will be Java coding, how to write all things. But as you are admin, Kubernetes admin or OpenShift admin or Docker admin, these are the fundamental things, basic things which is required to understand containerized platform. Then you can move to the next call. Our target will be orchestration, container orchestration. So hopefully all are clear. So you can just do practice all things. So same command, guys, if you just remove from this Docker RM, right? Same thing. Suppose you want to remove a container. So I'll just do Docker service PS command will be there, and Docker service ls command, And if I want to remove any container, then I'll just Docker service rm container name. I'll give a container name over here, whatsoever container name I can write. This will remove the container. So now if I say service ls command, now I have 2. Clear all of you? Same thing, if you want to check what is the IP address of this container, then you can do Docker swarm service, then inspect you can run, and what is the container name. So if you run this container name over here, and when you hit enter, you will see all the information about the container, all the details about your container. Hopefully all clear. Anybody has any questions? So I think this installation part I will ask my manager to share today's recording to all of you. Until installation part, we will definitely share this recording to all.
Sir,
And
one
also
question.
we will share you the yesterday commands. Yesterday commands I will share, and today's command. Today's command easy, right? Nothing there to share. This is which I already shared, and we have run only few commands, which is called. First, I have execute history. This is just I run this command. These are the. Shall I take a history output? That is fine, guys. So something I'll this command. So I have execute only one single command, which is called Docker swarm init command I have run. This is a single command I have execute on server.
There is one more command to enable the VAS, right?
That is not required. That is not required. You just do Control D, it will come up. And Docker swarm init, and the client side command will be this. This is the client side command for to join the worker node. Run this command. So after join, you basic commands, you can run all the basic command. The docker node ls command, which will tell you how many clusters are there. To deploy the application, you can use docker service create this command. To scale up existing application, scale command you can use. And to check how many how many ports are there, docker service ls command. To check in node how many containers are running, docker node ps command. And to check information about a node, you can run this command. To if you want to deploy under Docker Swarm, if you want to configure private registry, run this command. Yes or no? While deploy your application, you can, if you want to give a replica, you can use this replica. So all the commands which I give, basic commands. Something if you have, if any interview they'll ask you question, have you used Docker Swarm? You say yes, we have used Docker Swarm. What is the disadvantage, advanced? So those we will discuss you tomorrow class. So I'll stop the class today now. And tomorrow we will continue with the same time, and we will start CK class tomorrow. So tomorrow is the first class of a Kubernetes class, which we will start tomorrow onwards.
So tomorrow we'll be discussing about installation, right? Or anything
Tomorrow, yes, tomorrow we will start tomorrow we will start with our introduction part, and along with we will also start with the installation as well. Kubernetes installation. Yes, guys.
We have the two nodes, right? Work node 1, 2. So is it required to all VMs to install the registry or not required?
What? Come again?
Registry where doing that command Docker registry. So registry is it required or not required?
No, that is not required. If you want to deploy, you can deploy it.
Okay. It's not mandatory. Okay.
No, not mandatory. If you want to deploy, you can deploy that one.
Okay.
Sir, one question on the VMs actually. So we are creating multiple VMs, right? So for our classes sessions, right? So these VMs are for like because they'll go out of memory, out of like processing.
So that is what I told you. If you are using CLI mode, then you will not get any problem.
Okay. So
Okay.
you mean the server?
CLI, yeah, CLC. I have run how many VM I have run? I have my CPU is a 4 GB RAM, but I have created many VM. I have 4 GB RAM. Might be you have some 16 GB RAM, right? So that is what I skip the server part. I mean desktop part, Docker Ubuntu desktop. Better you can go for CLI prompt only, no? That is good only, right?
Okay.
Everything you have to do
Yeah.
CLI.
Sure.
Saurabh,
Thanks.
do you have a plan to discuss the Kubernetes today, or you are just going to wind up?
Today it's already 8:20, so let's see. Everyone should be fresh mind required. We will
Okay.
talk about tomorrow. Sorry
Yeah.
for that. I told you.
Yeah, it's fine.
Today.
Saurabh, if you don't mind, can you please share your mobile number? Actually, if we're not going to disturb in the night, but whenever we need to get some support.
Yeah, definitely. I'll share. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. So anything else? So please practice whatever things we have discussed.
Sorrow, 1 second. I'm trying to join my worker nodes to the Docker master.
Okay.
Okay, so how do we 1 second.
When you run Docker init command, Docker swarm init command, you will get first output. Copy that output and run it from there. Okay.
Right.
Get that output.
So if you want to add the other new node, so how we can get that one? The token
Yes.
details?
So you have to create one token, Docker swarm. That is what there is a command there, no? Docker swarm token. You create Docker swarm token over here. See, join token will be there. That is a joint. Manage your join token. This is command for join. But if your token will be expired, you need to create new token and generate it.
Sorry, before
Yes,
before making the Docker swarm join on the worker nodes, what are the prerequisite I need to run? Do I need to run any daemon or package?
Okay, I share you that prerequisite is what? See, Docker. If you want to configure Docker Swarm Manager, the prerequisite is what? You should configure Docker. So Docker, you know how to configure Docker?
No, that is done, sir. Everything is done.
Okay.
Everything I have configured.
After done Docker, then see now you created one VM. Now you have installed Docker and you have to configure host name, assign the IP address, and put it in etc host file. Once that is done, logging to your Swarm Manager node and run Docker Swarm init. When you run Docker Swarm init, you will get a join this command. You will get this command. This command, this command will be there. Right? This command will be put, and put this command in worker node 1 and 2.
So if I'm trying to put that command, it is saying that it is not able to join. It is giving error response from daemon. Timeout was reaching
Have you configured Docker? Have you start Docker service?
Yes.
Then it should not come. Try that. I will share this video. Follow that one. If not, you tell me tomorrow. I'll do that.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So you follow the process. See,
do I need to install any other additional package or something?
No, nothing is. I didn't do anything. First, I run Docker. Docker seems Docker is already configured on my this machine. I just clone it and run it. That's it. So if you are not installed Docker, already I have given the command to you how to start install a Docker. So you do one thing. You run it this two commands again. Might be if you miss to start the service whatsoever, better to what you need to do, download say run these two command on your machine first of all before you install join the network. Can you run and run this command and join it?
Done the same. I have done
the
the
same.
Yeah.
And should work. So then you check whether you are able to communicate to worker node to master ping pong
Yeah,
is happening or
that
not.
yeah, that I need to check.
Yeah, that you have to check. Okay, make sure all the machines should communicate to each other. Make sure you should assign unique IP address and host name.
So
Okay, fine then.
how about the port details?
One more thing. Let's suppose after the class, right? During if I need to do any help, right, during the setup, any service deployment, do you have any separate team who will give the support after this class?
After the class, what exactly you're asking? If you get any issues during
Setup, any lab, yeah, any issue, right? Yes.
any issue in your office or any issue in your laptop?
No, any issue in the laptop, any Kubernetes deployment, any service deployment, any kind of the lab setup during the lab practice.
Okay, so definitely I am there to help you during your
Okay.
class time. You can ask me, and Ali is which is who is guys who can help you during your installation if you face. That is what our manager did. We are sharing our recording to you. So the watch the recording again if you're facing this. Still, if you're not able to resolve, then you can reach out to us.
Yeah, I will help you to actually solve the
So
problem.
then
or
we
issue
can
on
reach
the
out
machine.
after this meeting as well, right? During the morning time.
Saurabh, can you just once also copy that host file in the text file, the whatever is there in the
Okay.
etc host.
Okay, sure.
Hello, Saurabh, this is Amar. One last question.
Yeah, please, sir, please.
Sir, when I am trying to install the Docker, I am getting some error like hash some mismatch. When I tried from Vagrant and when I tried manually also, I am getting same hash some mismatch. Expected
Okay.
file is
Okay.
this.
Have you run this command or this before you start installation? Have you run
Yeah,
this
I
command
removed.
on install your service?
Yes, I did. Yes, I
Run
did.
this
Even
command, boot your machine,
yes,
and start it again.
yes, I did it. Even me and Ali also tried.
Okay.
Yeah,
What can you ping me the error?
Possibly
Yeah,
with the host name.
Just a second, I want to explain it. He had tried to install the Docker on his host, but the point is he downloaded the Ubuntu 18.4 Bionic on his host, and when we tried to install this Docker, he got this error from the repository. His host tried to connect to Ubuntu version 19 and try to match the hashes for the installation, the packages, but his host was 18.4 and the Docker tried to install through the 19 point change repository.
Okay.
Then we went to details and checked and opened the actually errors file and find this root from the repository. Repository tried to bring the packages from the Docker repository for Ubuntu 19 point change, but he installed a for 18.4. But yesterday I did it without any problem. But today when he tried and I tried also, I got this mismatch between the repository's version. The OS
Yeah.
was
So you should use correct OS
yes.
version.
Yes, I asked him
Okay.
to install the latest version because I installed over the Ubuntu 18.4 and Ubuntu 20 and it was working properly. Then at least I said, okay, one time sir, change your OS and download the latest version
Exactly.
CLI.
Try that one, sir. Try with that. You don't need to do. Don't waste your time to do R&D because use
Exactly.
correct version and start your job. Because anyhow, as your when you in the project, you will get correct OS version. If OS version mismatch and already you have already given the version, make sure whenever you start install Docker, make sure you should have this operating system 18.4 and
Yeah,
16.4.
that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
18.4 only I'm getting error. That's what I'm
Okay,
saying. I
18.4 only you are getting this error.
yeah, I
Yes.
I need
tried
to
with
check. I need to check.
installation and
Error.
even manually also.
Oh,
It was, he got error over 18.4. But at least I said, if it's possible, one time change, download the latest version Ubuntu, and it will be support. Yes, this 20 version.
Yeah. So try with sir that
And
one.
check. Yes.
Try with
Let us
this
see.
version.
Yes.
Docker version 19.03. This version, and Ubuntu Docker version, that one. And what is my version of red?
LSB underline, you use LSB underline tab if you want to watch your Ubuntu version. LSB. No, it's not. No.
LSB, eh?
No. LSB underline tab underline. Release.
Release.
Hyphen X.
Hyphen X.
Yeah, A.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
This is your Ubuntu version,
Yeah,
18.
Ubuntu
Exactly.
version.
He installed this version, 18.4.3 LTS Bionic, but for him, it didn't work properly.
And
Then
have you run apt get update all command?
Oh yes, sir. Before that one, we updated the whole. Yes, exactly. And even we use the apt-get update dash mismatch also, means the missing parts also we download.
That's fine. Try with latest version. Don't waste your time to do R&D all thing. So try with the latest version and practice all the things.
Okay.
I will try that. If not,
Yes,
I will
definitely. You try that, and we are here to help you. Definitely, don't worry.
Ping us, no problem, sir.
And
Ping us.
Ali, if you are facing any kind of issue, please reach out to me. Okay.
Oh, of course, yes.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Good
Sir,
night, all of you.
Share your
tomorrow.
text file. Sir, please share your text file. That Word
Yeah,
math
text file. Yeah.
Yes. Yesterday and today, please. I want to.
Yeah, I will share you. Just modify and
Yes,
give it
I will
to.
share it to the group. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank
Sure.
you. Thanks, guys. All of you. Bye bye. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.